What's up, everybody? This is your host, Jabril, with the brand new show, Crash Crew Sports. This is a special edition, but I wanted to come on here. I know many of y'all are aware that I was doing the Replay Sports Show, which we still have the Replay Sports Show, but this is a special edition, like I'm saying, regarding Crash Crew Sports, where you're going to not only see just myself, but you're going to see several other individuals. But I want to come on here because we're getting ready to embark on that show that will be filmed at another location. And I will be joined by several of my really good friends from in the past years who played high school, college ball, as well as in the pros. But I want to come on here because it was such a great weekend for myself, do a special edition of the brand new hit, what I think is going to be a hit, the Crash Crew Sports. So, yes, thank you for joining me. I am live, so you can chat out in the box if you come on to this particular episode. I won't be on here very long, but I had to talk about what was taking place this past week in the world of sports. And I want to start off with, none other than my mighty, I'm still going to say mighty, University of Texas El Paso UTEP team, football team that came down to Austin to take on the number 7th ranked team in the country, the Texas Longhorns. Although we did not prevail, we was in that thing. We was certainly in that thing. I mean, with a couple of, breaks here, breaks there, we probably could have really made a ball game out of that, maybe even forced overtime, or who knows, could have won that thing in overtime. But as the case may be, those were lofty aspirations that did not happen. UT did prevail. It took down my UTEP minus 27-10. And we're going to get in a little bit of the highlights because I'm telling you, I was at the game. And, honestly and truthfully, I just didn't think Texas deserved that ranking of being number 7. I didn't think they really deserved the ranking of being number 1, to be honest with you, because I truly believe if they put them number 1 due to Archie Manning being there. And we're going to get into that just a little bit later as well. But let's take a look at some of the highlights that took place this past weekend on Saturday up in Austin.
Director Sam Guzman at the game today in Austin, picking things up in the first quarter. 5:26 left. Arch Manning on the quarterback keep for his 5th rushing TD. Texas is going to go up 7-0. Now, same score, second quarter. Texas in the red zone a handful of times, but UTEP keeps them at bay. Longhorns in the red zone once more. Manning on the scramble. He has time to throw, but he will throw an interception in the end zone, picked off by Xavier Smith. UTEP ball. It's defense keeping them in the game, but nothing will come of the opportunity. 8:23 to go before break. Malachi Nelson is going to throw this one straight into the hands of Texas's defense for an interception. Possession is going to go right back to the Longhorns. Now, Miners with the field goal. The 39-yarder will be good for this one for 7-3. Texas in front. Now 6 seconds on the clock. Manning looking for the pass will find the end zone for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. They head into the locker room 14-3 at half. Second half now. Shea Smith in the quarterback position. 2-yard rushing touchdown for him, and that will close the Miners deficit 27-10, and that'll go final. UTEP falls 2-1 on the season, falling to Texas, but quite the fight out of UTEP against a strong opponent.
Well, so you saw some of the highlights there from this past Saturday's game. And again, I was there. I saw it live. And I really thought that UTEP had a really good game plan coming into the DKR Stadium down there in Austin. And I had an opportunity to speak with the guys. As I said, I put on a post. I don't know how many of you guys saw that post that I posted where I had to put the disclaimer. I was talking to the entire team, but I'm a defensive guy, know some things about offense, even could have played offense. I started out playing offense at one time until I switched over to defense, but I'm a defensive guy. And I think that the defense came out and played their tails off. They set the standard. I mean, gave the ball back to UTEP's offense, put them in great field position from time to time to be able to succeed. But unfortunately, we have a 2-time transfer portal quarterback in Malachi Nelson who came in and, he kind of just made some bad decisions with the football. Now, to his credit, this guy was the National Gatorade High School Player of the Year coming out of the state of California. I think he went to Boise State University. I forget the other university he went to prior to transferring to UTEP. But I had a chance to meet him. Nice young man, and we took pictures and everything. I just don't think he had the reps that are needed, because I do know one of the things that happened to him, from my understanding, he had an ACL injury, so I don't think he had a lot of reps coming into this season. But they like his upside, so he came in, and as you saw in the highlights, he threw an interception after UTEP got an interception. UT had drove down there to, I think, to about the 9, maybe 10-yard line, and Arch Manning threw an interception. He threw a pick, turnover, and we come back and give the ball right back to UT. And as Malachi Nelson was scrambling out of the pocket, he decided to throw across his body. And that's just something you just never do, guys. You just, for all you high schoolers out there and you junior high school guys, listen, you don't throw the football across your body unless you're absolutely sure that man is 100% open and he's not in a crowd of other defenders, because it's going to be disastrous. And that's exactly what happened. You cannot throw the football across your body. So we wind up turning the ball back over to Texas. And of course, Arch Manning did have 2 runs that he ran for touchdowns. The first one, he ran, I think we should have spied him on both plays. I don't know what happened in that situation, but yeah, he scored on that second touchdown right before halftime, which to me, man, that was the kind of like the backbreaker, because I felt like UTEP had the ball, couldn't pick up a first down, turned the ball back over to UT. UT goes down there, and I kept saying to myself, if they can just hold them, don't let them score. Even if you have to give up 3, okay, fine, but don't let them get in the end zone before halftime, because you're sitting on a 7-3 deficit and you still in this thing. But when they let him score that second touchdown, man, I knew it was going to be an uphill battle, but I was still hopeful. I was leaving out hope, because I felt like UTEP, with their fiery coach, Coach Scott Walden, and man, shout out to him, because that coach, man, is so infectious with his enthusiasm. He don't get down, he don't get, I think he get too high sometimes, because he's definitely into the game, but he never gets down. He never let those guys quit. As you can see in the fourth quarter, when UTEP still scored that touchdown, he was just as energized as if it was the second of maybe even the first quarter when they scored that touchdown. But again, UT went on to win that game 27-10. But those are the little things, when you think about it, that can uplift your team as they get ready to get into conference play, which UTEP is in the Conference USA division. And those little small windows like that, those little wins, when you don't get down and you still fighting to the end and you score a touchdown, oh, absolutely, you can use that when you're watching film and, go back and, look at guys who may have probably began to lag a little bit. Look at guys who still play 4 quarters of football. You're going to know at some point the guy that's going to go into that dog fight with you. I don't think anybody quit that I could see. I know UTEP suffered a few injuries. Some key starters got hurt towards the end, but man, they hung in there. So I'm real proud of my alma mater, the team that I started with and played with, man, and was all conference with, and how they came out, man, and they didn't care about no ranking. They didn't care about, the burnt orange and white. They didn't care about being down at DKR Darrell Ross Stadium or over 60,000 fans. They didn't care about anything but other than playing between the lines, as I was directing them to do, as I'm going to show you in a second. For those of y'all who didn't get a chance to see my video that I put up, having the opportunity to speak with the UTEP minor. So let me see if I could we could take a look at that. I got my son Khalil out here. How you feeling out here on UT field, man?
No words, really. I have no words. My dad got me access to a D1 college football stadium. We out here, man, with UTEP.
You out here with the University of Texas Longhorns, man, ranked number 7 in the country. But I think UTEP, man, gonna give them a battle tomorrow. I'm hoping they can shock the world on tomorrow. But this is big time college D1 football right here, son. Yeah, so that was a great opportunity, man. They really laid out the red carpet for your boy. Showed me a lot of love, Coach Scotty Walden and his staff. So big shout out to them. And I got a chance to walk the stadium again with my 19-year-old son, man, spending time with him. As I posted on another post, I said, yeah, UTEP may have lost the war, but I definitely won the battle. Anytime you get a chance to spend time with your your children or your loved ones, man, take fully advantage of that. So they definitely did that. But like I said, he allowed me to speak with the team, and I had an opportunity to speak with them. That was that Friday, this walkthrough practice, and this is the things that I said to them.
Where they coming out at?
Y'all give me just a second. I'm trying to sign this here. There's a lot of things that I had a chance to do. I hope I still had that. I have it up for you guys to be able to see the great opportunity that I was given to be able to speak. Yeah, here we go, right here.
1986 to 1989 was on UTEP's winningest team, okay, that is in the Hall of Fame. They went 10-3. Give it up for quarterback Jabril Rashad. I gotta say something right quick, Coach. I gotta say something.
You got it,
I drove a long way, man. I drove a long way. Y'all can beat them tomorrow. This ain't no hype. One play at a time, one rep at a time. Can't nobody in this stand come out on this field. You gotta believe in one another. The only way we were successful in 1988 because it was a real brotherhood. Right. Nobody tried to be bigger than the team. You gotta play your position, do your job, what you coached to do. All right, keep your rush lane. Stay disciplined. They can't beat y'all, man. It's a myth. It's a myth, all right? I had to say that, Coach. Oh, please. Because I believe in it, man. That record we set in 1988 should have been off the board. It should have been off the board. You guys got an opportunity to do that, man. And it starts tomorrow. I believe in y'all, man.
So, yeah, man, that was exciting to me. You know, you get that nostalgia. Like, man, you feel like you're going to put that helmet, them pads back on. If you can just play for one more down on one more day, that's the energy that I felt. I didn't know I was going to actually feel that way. I'm kind of fiery anyway. I'm passionate about a lot of things that I do. But, man, to be on that turf once again and, you know, you circling around in your mind, you know, wishing that you can lace them up one more time. But to see those young brothers, man, and brought back so many memories and what they was about to embark upon, man, I just was I was very excited for the opportunity that they was given to be able to play a top 10 ranked team. And again, they went out there and did their thing. But I fired them up as best I could. The only thing is I couldn't speak on game day. I think if I would have spoke on game day, actually Saturday morning, I would have had a lot more to say. And I think I probably could have got them over the hump. Who knows? I don't know. But I was given that, you know, again, that opportunity to speak with him, man. I'm so happy that Coach Walden allowed me to do that. But again, they laid things out for us. Again, my son and I had a really great time. We walked in some of the locker rooms we got there, as you can see, part of the locker room. Walking out to the stadium area. So had a chance to walk UT campus, see what the campus was like. And I'm glad I was able to do that on behalf of I Am Student Athlete, which is another program that we do for our youth. So, y'all
This is my family right here. Hey, bro, this is my wife, Callie. How you doing?
On that I Am Student Athlete. That was at the end. I didn't get all that in, but that was me being introduced to the head coach, Scotty Walden, his wife, his family, his young son, man. That was a great opportunity too. What a great guy. I definitely believe that UTEP has the right individual for the coach, for that coaching position, because they need a coach that's going to challenge them on all levels and bring out the best in them. So, again, shout out to UTEP, shout out to UT. And I can't forget about, I had my little spiritual nephew, man, playing over there on Texas side of things. I know many of y'all know him as Malik Muhammad. We call him Manny, that played at South Oak Cliff, two-time South Oak Cliff state champion. He played defensive back over there now with the University of Texas Longhorns, one of the top defensive backs in the country. And I surprised him too. He didn't have no idea that I was at the game and that I would be down in the walkway where they come through and let them come through prior to the game. So I had to shock him. I had to send him some love. I had to get over there where they was at. I'm gonna try to back, but this is them. He came over to I'm just letting you know that I'm here to support you. Yeah, that was great. Great seeing him walk through that Texas line, man, getting ready to go inside the locker room to get ready for the game. So shout out to my little spiritual nephew, Malik Muhammad. He had a great game himself individually. But let's get into this thing, man, real quick. Talk about this Arch Manning situation from what my eyes seen. And I'm just being flat out honest with you. I know many of you all have may have heard him talk about it or listened to sports shows earlier, what have you, about the Bulls. And I mentioned this on my way back, driving back from Austin. I mentioned this. I say, man, I was sitting there in the stands and I'm listening. I think after one of the sidearm throws he tried to do, I don't know why he's trying to mimic a little bit of Patrick Mahomes, but he need to play within himself. I don't know if he's pressing a little bit, but man, when I saw Arch Manning, what I saw as a former defensive back, knowing the position, knowing the quarterbacks, his understanding of what he has to have to be successful, man, I said, this guy's overhyped. And I was sitting there, my son and I said, are they booing him? Wow. I was like, wow, I actually heard the boos myself personally. But, I would be remiss if I did not say, when I watched Arch Manning, man, how he ranked this team as #1 in the country, knowing that it was due to the last name that was on the back of his jersey. Again, I'm rooting for the young man. I hope he is successful, as I would any young athlete that's coming along. But you got to earn your keeps. You just can't show up and name only saying because I got my last name is Manning that things are going to be handed or given to me. No, I don't work that way. It's the same thing with the Sanders. And the issue I really had was the fact that they did all that to Shedeur Sanders. They called him arrogant, called him conceited, like he was self-preserving and everything else, and let his NFL stock drop all the way to the 5th round. And then I look at Arch Manning, I'm saying, man, this kid is not, what are they talking about, Heisman Trophy hopeful and candidate and all this? I'm saying, man, this kid is not what they're saying he is. He's just not at this particular moment. Now, if it's in there, I do believe he has some of the best mentors at quarterback, in Peyton Manning. And I'm not going to too much talk about Eli. I mean, the jury's still out on that. I don't know. They talking about him getting a Hall of Fame jacket. But I do know his uncle Peyton. I mean, he has one of the best mentors to be able to get him through the things that he needs to get through. Because, man, the way he played against UTEP, and I'm not saying UTEP didn't cause him any problems, because UTEP, again, defense played their butt off, But, man, I just think what I saw and how they're trying to overhype this young man, he got to go back to the drawing board. There's no way this individual, man, is he's not even a top 32 pick at this particular point. There's no way he goes in the 1st round. And it's just going to be real interesting to see. I hope he can turn it around. I hope he, is successful. I hope the team itself is successful. But, man, if he don't turn this thing around, and this is a non-conference game, it was non-conference play. If he don't turn this thing around prior to them getting into the SEC, it's going to be some issues. And I'm one to think that Steve Sarkisian, the head coach of Texas, may have to make a quarterback change. Now, I don't know if he's going to be, bold enough to do it or not. But, man, I can see where that alumni probably be calling for Arch Manning's head by middle of the season if he doesn't get this thing changed quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because, man, when they started booing him, I was surprised. Like, because they had so much, hope and aspiration for him. Now, if you don't believe me, check out this report that was put out on him.
You where something crazy happened with 1:14 left in the second half. Now remember, Arch Manning is a guy that this crowd went crazy for last year, but with less than 2 minutes left in the first half, I heard and saw fans in this section losing their mind, booing the UT starting quarterback, screaming out that he wasn't playing well enough. He wasn't good enough in that moment for that team. Now, up to that moment, I counted 4 extremely off-target passes from Arch. For the second time in 3 games, Arch failed to eclipse 100 yards passing through 3 quarters. Sure enough, this was not his best game. When we talked to Arch after the game today, he told us that the fans sitting right there were right.
I got to play better. It's not good enough. As y'all can see, I got to play better first till maybe it slides against UTEP, but it's not going to win us games against SEC. I got to play better.
Yeah, and there it is. You heard it right from the horse's mouth. He acknowledged himself. He has to play better. You know, again, I think, is he a great upside? Yes. Do we possess certain tools as far as being able to move in the pocket and move out the pocket? Yes, he does. But the mental part of the game, man, that's the part that I'm really surprised about, knowing he has an uncle like Peyton Manning and Eli Manning and even his grandfather, Archie Manning. You would think that he would have been able to dissect defense better than what he did. I saw it from my own eyes. He's not what they're making him out to be. He has the name on the back of his jersey. He has Peyton Manning, number 16. All of the attributes are there, man. But the activity of it, the execution of what he's doing, I guess he's pressing. He's gonna have to go back to the drawing board, and he's gonna have to get with one of his uncles or somebody, because Archie Manning is not whom they're making him out to be, and it'll be a travesty on all levels if this kid is drafted in the first round and you allow Shedeur Sanders to slip all the way down to the 5th. Man, if that's not a slap in the face, I personally don't know what is. I really don't. So now let's segue real quick, because we're going to talk about these Dallas Cowboys on yesterday. Yesterday, the Dallas Cowboys won a game in overtime against the New York Giants, 40-37. And man, let me tell you something. When I saw this game, I was fighting. I mean, it was a uphill battle for me to even stay awoke. I mean, really, this vanilla win that the Cowboys gave. Granted, it's hard to get a win in the NFL. I get it. I understand. It is hard to get a win in the NFL. Anytime you defeat an NFL team, man, you got to take that, build on it, and keep going with it. But with that being said, Cowboys should have lost this game. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Cowboys should have lost this game. What I saw out there, man, was atrocious defensively. I'm not talking about against the run. Yeah, you with Kenny Clark, I think those guys up front, him and OC now, they did a good job up front for the most part. I think we got to get a little bit better at our linebacker position. I like to see Lil Fall play a little bit more, and I like to see Overshawn get healthy and he come back. But pass defense-wise, this was pathetic. It was so pathetic that, look, man, I wanted to call the National Guards. If you're going to send out the National Guard, they should have sent out the National Guards for these particular defensive backs, or indict them, one, for falsely pretending to be defensive backs for a professional organization, because this was atrocious. That was my position. Played this position, understand the ins and outs of this position. And it's crazy how you allow a 30-something Russell Wilson, who's known for throwing the deep ball, Not only did he throw the deep ball for almost a game-winning touchdown, but he hit you a couple of times prior to that. And they're looking at themselves, Elam and Trayvon Diggs and Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, as if they don't even know what the heck is going on, what's happening. And that just cannot happen at this level, guys, because I could tell you right now, if I was the defensive coordinator or the defensive back coach, them guys, somebody would be benched. But I've been talking about this for years and years about how Dallas have not drafted a Pro Bowl safety. I thought when the guy Kirkpatrick was going over from the Miami Dolphins to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas should have went out and got Kirkpatrick, who was Alabama. I watched him play at Alabama. He would have been a heck of a free agent pickup, or to trade for him, because Miami was doing a fire sale at the time. They could have got him on the cheap, but they didn't do that. They stuck with Malik Hooker and them. And when you stick with guys like that who are not great in pass coverage, here are some of the results that you're going to get. So let's look at some of the highlights.
From the Dallas 48, Wilson protected. Heaving one, wants Neighbors. Malik Neighbors! Touchdown Giants! He dropped it in the bucket from 48. Vintage Russell Wilson.
Asked about this unit. Kicking to Turpin, of course, he's now out, as you just said, but you could be on minus side, meaning on your side of the 50, and be in field goal position. So 3 timeouts, Dak Prescott behind center.
20 yards away from having a shot for Aubrey. Very soft defense from the Giants. Prescott underneath, he's got him. Ferguson in midfield, 9 seconds, now 8, they'll call a timeout. Aubrey, does he have enough? On the way, it
Man, isn't it a blessing to have a kicker like Aubrey? Boy. We found a diamond in the rough. You know, Dallas in past years have been pretty good about finding good kickers, but this guy here, I think, tops them all. I mean, Aubrey, man, it's like he's just money in the bucket, and then not for his accuracy and how he approached and his technique in approaching and kicking the field goal. Man, Dallas definitely would have lost their game. Definitely would have lost their game, and again, they should have, because as I showed in the highlights, look, there's only two types of principle. I'm gonna say it like that because I don't know what they call, but what it looks like to me, you got cover one and you got cover three. Okay, and for those of us who know that, they teach it on even the high school level, collegiately, and in the professional ranks. Now, if they was in deep thirds, of course, the free safeties are always gonna have the middle of the field. They call it deep middle 1/3. The cornerback is gonna have outside thirds. So that's his zone. That's a zone coverage. Now, if you're running a combo, a man combo, which they could have been, you talk about Diggs, and I know he's coming off that knee injury, and usually they say, when you have an ACL injury, it takes you about a good year to get over that, and he had another injury or whatever. Well, guess what? If he's not right, he shouldn't be out there, because, man, I count numerous times where this guy just would not get out of his back pedal. He would not get out of his back pedal. Again, if you're playing a man-to-man coverage, just cover one combo, basically combo just simply means that the defensive back and the free safety, he was expecting on that first route that he caught for a touchdown, Diggs was expecting to get help from Donovan Wilson on the inside because he had the outside shoulder, and they teach you to drive up to the upfield or the outside shoulder of the receiver. But obviously Diggs, number one, both of them, he didn't get out of his back pedal to get up to the upfield shoulder wide receiver. And Donovan Wilson, I don't know what is he stuck on stupid looking in the backfield at the quarterback or whatever, never got enough depth. And they always tell you to get as deep as the deepest. Get as deep as the deepest simply means no matter how far the receiver's running, if he's running a deep route, you got to be deeper than him. So you got to have depth. You got to be able to see the whole entire field to be able to play that deep middle 1/3. And that's exactly what they did not do. And that's so fundamentally understood by anybody who played the defensive back position. So it was crazy to me to see Rondell Robinson, number 17 with the Giants. And then you got Malik Neighbors, man, who is excellent in go routes and so forth and comeback routes, in them bang gate routes and stuff like that. Why wouldn't you respect that? The fact that Elam, I mean, you just let him close you. And if a receiver close you, he got you. If he get up on you, man, there's nothing you're going to do. You're at his mercy. So again, I know Deron Bland, is out with a foot injury, and he may be out 2 to 3 weeks. Man, he got to get healthy. He got to get back and get healthy and stay healthy and give us the year that he had 2 years ago. Elam and Diggs, man, is very suspect. Very suspect. And when I was sitting there watching it, I couldn't. I was like, oh man, I can't believe that Matt Eberflus, I call him Eberflush, as in flush the toilet with the defensive coordinator. All the stuff about how he's had good defense and all that. Okay, fine. But at the same time, I still wanted guys like allegedly Frazier or Brian Flores, an African-American defensive coordinator, since you never had an African-American defensive coordinator in your entire since 1960, your entire existence, with the exception of, well, I'm not going to even say his name because it's not even really worth saying. He was on Wade Phillips' staff. Only lasted 6 games, and he was out of there. But anyway, yeah, but we got to, I know, Eberflus, I mean, if he is what they say he is, yeah, you got to look at this whole entire film, man, and start making some decisions. They got to coach that up because that is too fundamental to give up deep balls like that to a 30-something-year-old Russell Wilson. And y'all made that man look like Dan Marino in his prime. Just crazy, man. Just crazy. But anyway, the Cowboys did get the win. They got the victory in overtime, 40-37. So they got the Chicago Bears next. And we got to be ready to go because, Caleb Williams, you just can't take them guys lightly, man. And you got to shear up them holes in your defense and your pass defense because they got a Dunze. They got a couple of receivers that are nice. that can make some noise, and they're gonna definitely be coming at them guys again on next week. So anyway, let's switch over right quick, because on Saturday evening we saw something, man, that, man, without question, this guy is definitely pound for pound the best fighter in this era. And I've known of Terrence Bud Crawford for a while. I will admit that I wasn't always a Bud Crawford fan or guy, if you will, but he's grown on me. I always knew his skill set. I always knew he was a heck of a fighter. I mean, that was never lost upon me. But I know when he fought Errol Spence, of course, I was a little biased. You know, I was going for the homie, you know, Errol Spence. I thought Earl probably would, his style, because both of them have different styles of fighting. But the difference is Crawford is really, man, he's skilled. He is skilled, man. I mean, he's such a savant when it comes to being able to think his strategy through and how he want to counterpunch and counterattack his opponents. I mean, and I knew this prior to the Spence fight, but I allowed my emotions to cloud my thinking. But after he defeated Errol Spence, I knew, and I was all on this one. I called this one out the door. I said, man, Canelo Alvarez ain't got nothing for this guy, man. The guy just too, it's a sweet science to it. And he's just too he's too accurate, he's too visional. He sees it before it even comes. It's like playing a game of chess, you know. And one of the things I loved about his game, his fight game on Saturday evening, man, is how he sat there, man, and gave it to him, man. And that 8th and 9th round set in the pocket, that was my best 2 rounds, man. And it wasn't close. I don't know what them judges was thinking. They gave him a unanimous decision, but the way one of those judges scored the fight, I'm like, man, that if Canelo won, maybe I'll give him 2 rounds, maybe 3, but 2, man, he should take that, because, man, Crawford put on the show, man. Let's see some of the highlights.
Good response, and that means, well, there was a jab, but everything comes hard from Canelo.
Crowd trying to get behind the Mexican superstar. You may have seen Skipper Kelp as yet hasn't found a round for Canelo Alvarez through 4.
Might find this one if it keeps up like this. He's keeping Crawford.
Trying to go a little bit deeper. Can I stand here?
Crawford,
can I exchange?
He's not backing up from Canelo's power.
Good uppercut by Crawford. Alvarez out of range on the return.
This is a significant statement Crawford is making if it continues this way. Not only is he not backing up from Canelo's power, but he may be doing more damage with his own in these exchanges.
He is affable, and he just landed a pretty significant right hand there. Under a minute to go, round 8.
These are dangerous punches for Crawford, because Crawford is feeling himself right now, and Alvarez is throwing knockout shots. As Teddy Atlas would always say, Canelo is looking to be friends, and Crawford is not looking to be friends.
Great exchange from Terrence Crawford right there. Canelo's landing, but not like Terrence Crawford in this exchange.
This is furious action. Time will tell. Those two look like it hurt. But this is Canelo's best moment of the fight.
Which was his respect.
Well, he felt like if he could get this fight, he could produce a performance that would earn the respect. Down the stretch we come. And there's the fight.
Man, what a great fight. What a great performance by Terrence Bud Crawford. Like I said, when he sat there, man, went toe-to-toe and got on the inside, and he sat there in the pocket, man, and was duking it out. That's man, that's what makes this guy special, because he can fight any style that you want to fight and then counter that and even do you one better. So I thought it was a great performance, man. Pound for pound, yeah, he's a now super middleweight. He got all the belts and the ring and the money to come with it now. He can set his own price now. He's on the A side. He's no longer on the B side. So I look forward to him. Maybe he may drop down to 160. He won't go up to 175. He feel like that's too heavy, but he'd say he drop down to 160. So maybe they, go hunting in that 160 category. I think Boots out of Philly, he may have to come up a little bit. Maybe they can meet at 154. Make that fight happen. But I just don't think there's nobody out there, man, that can stop the onslaught of a Terrence Bud Crawford. I mean, the guy's just too good. I mean, he's definitely won me over. Again, I've known, this for a while about his skills. Again, I've only went against him one time, and that's when I went with the homie Earl Spence. But it's all good, man. It's a lot of great fighters out there still. So hopefully, he was patient. He's been waiting his time, and now is his time, and God is blessing him to do what he loves doing, and that's being in the fight game. So it was an excellent fight on Saturday, man. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see when he steps back in the ring again. So before we get ready to close this thing out, I got to do a little bit of a house cleaning right quick. Just remind you guys that on this Thursday, we will be going back down memory lane. This is going to be like a prelude for the 40th high school, Wilma Hudson High School class reunion. I know there are other class of 85 high schools that are probably putting together some things themselves or what have you. But this will be our week that what we're doing from my alma mater, high school that I attended and graduated from in 1985, Wilma Hutchins, the Eagles. So on Friday, we're going to do that. But prior to Friday, on Thursday, this Thursday, we're going back down memory lane. We're going to be up at 1540 Bar and Grill, which is right there located at 2021 Northampton Road. And it'll be 7 p.m. That's Thursday night football. You got the Buffalo Bills that'll be playing the Miami Dolphins, but we're going to be up there commemorating and celebrating. I'm inviting all schools to come out. Because, again, we don't believe in tribalism. We believe in living, as I like to say. It's not about, I went to this school or lived on this side of town. We must forget that, in the words of Frankie Beverly, he said, we are one. We are one. Yeah, should be proud of the school that you attended. But now that those things are behind us, let's see how far we've grown. Let's see how we can come back and share the love, in this beautiful city of Dallas and the community that birthed us, because I was just a whisker away from attending several of these high schools. So again, let's come together on Thursday, man. It's gonna be great. We're gonna commemorate, have a good time, and share the love with one another, embrace one another, and let's keep creating good memories, because we got more years behind us than we have in front of us. But this is one of the promos we put out. Yes, that's one of the promos we put out right there for Thursday. So I want you all to come out and join us on Thursday. Again, we're going to be up at 1540. We're going to be up at 1540 doing our thing. And I expect you guys that balled out in the 80s from South Oak Cliff, Carter High School, Roosevelt, Kimball, Skyline, W.T. White, Thomas Jefferson, Brian Adams. I'm naming all as many as I can, to come out, man, and LG Pinkston, come out and hang out with us if you balled in the 80s. Now, if you didn't do anything in the 80s and you was just on the fence on Friday nights, just coming to trying to pick up the girls and all that, and you didn't put no work in, you still invited to, though. You still invited to. Nah, I love to see people in the building, man. I grew up with so many people, man. I grew up in elementary. I attended W.W. Bushman, Robert L. Thornton, B.F. Durrell. Yeah, I know y'all probably saying, how did I go to all them schools? Well, you got to talk to my mother about that. We was moving around a lot. By the time we left out of West Dallas and came over to Oak Cliff, we was moving around a lot. Then we was over in Singing Hills and moved to Highland Hills, where she currently resides today. So again, that's why I was so close to going to South Oak Cliff before I made the decision to go to those mighty blue and white Eagles, man, Wilma Hudson Eagles. But yeah, I want all my guys to come out, man. If I played against you, come on out. And if I play with you, I definitely need to see you guys in the building, because we will be commemorating the 1985 #1 recruiting high school football team in the entire state of Texas. So we're going to be doing that because we were the first class, 1985, to defeat an all-white class in Highland Park out of our district that year. And we was in the Dallas Morning News as well as the Dallas Times Herald. So yeah, come on out Thursday. Enjoy your hour, your happy hour, however you get down. Just do that, and if you got to work on Friday, just, come in, just, stay a little minute, stay a little minute, a moment, just, to reset, if you will, have a paradigm shift. But it's going to be great. A lot of people are going to be coming through, I believe, and we're looking forward to having a great time. So again, this is going to be the Crash Crew reunion party this Thursday. And also, like I said, we got our 40th high school, there we go, our Wilmer Hutchins High School class reunion 1985 coming up Friday, September the 19th through the 21st. All right, we're going to be at B&B Theater on Friday. Then we got the Lorenzo Hotel on Saturday. And then we got the park, I think it's over in DeSoto, on Sunday. So absolutely, we are one. That's our thing. We are one. So again, I want you guys to do me a big favor. I didn't say subscribe at the intro of the show because, again, this particular special episode that I'm doing with Crash Crew Sports, I didn't want to do any subscriptions with this because I'm not really putting it up on YouTube because we have our own television network. That's what I'm trying to say. So I want you all to do me a small favor. Well, it's a big favor. I'm not saying, but it's small in how easy it is. In order to see what we're going to be doing with Wise Sports, as you can see, the logo that's up on the screen right there. WISE is an acronym for Winners International Sports and Entertainment. We have our own television network. It's on Al Islam Worldwide TV. And let me see if I can't put that banner so you all know exactly where to go to download it. And it's free. Don't cost you anything. That's where you want to go right there. That is Islam Worldwide TV. As you can see, ALISLAM Worldwide TV. All you got to do is go to your app store, download that app, and then you're going to see Wise Sports, the sports channel. And that's where you'll see the new show coming up, Crash Crew Sports. And it ain't just me. I got several other shows that we're going to be bringing along on the channel as well. So, support it because, again, it's Black owned. I should say African-American owned, okay? It's African-American owned, and we're going to try to bring you guys some of the best content and shows that's possible. We basically cut the middleman out, the YouTubes. We'll still use YouTube, Facebook, even TikTok, some of the other social platforms. But to be able to control your own dollar, control your own narrative, and so forth, that's a great thing. So we need to support one another. I'm always trying to support other people's businesses and at least shout people out and try to bring us together on some positive stuff, galvanizing our community. But we got a lot of talent, man. It's in our community. So we need to focus on some of those African-American owned businesses. And 1540 just happened to be one of them. Just like my ex-college roommate, he has his camera business, Billy Smith. So when y'all see him, y'all shout him out. If you need some portraits and all that stuff, look him up. All right. I hope he's in the house because, again, he played running back over at Skyline High School. And he was my college roommate for a minute before he transferred over to North Texas State University. But I got a lot of guys I played, like I say, with and played against. So I want to see everybody in the house. This is not a tribal thing, but it is a living thing. And I love to see you guys come out. So, again, this has been another episode of Crash Crew. Well, the first episode, I should say. But we're going to have another location where we're going to be shooting. So don't get too attached to this. But I will do this from time to time when necessary. So, again, you guys came on with me live. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for a lot more. That we got a lot more coming in the future. So I look forward to seeing you guys again. God bless you. And we out.
dominate the line of scrimmage, trying to run the ball right straight at them and see what happens.
Now on 2nd down and 4, here comes Rod Jones.
I prefer that you ain't blink all the time. Get it? What was the way you play?